Alright, what is up, all you ladies, genitals, people of Earth who want to go to the moon? I'm here to bring you a very important update on THETA, a cryptocurrency that might just help us get there. So, folks, in this video, I'm going to run through some technical analysis. I'm going to talk about what I see happening both short-term and long-term. So, if you like the sound of that, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to like, subscribe, comment, and share, and hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads, because I want to help you. I want to bring you the latest and greatest in cryptocurrency news and technical analysis, but I can't do that unless you're subscribed and you hit that bell icon. So, folks, there's a lot to talk about with THETA. Let's begin by just acknowledging that THETA has entered the top 10 in terms of market cap coins. This is a big deal, folks. THETA is a large player in this space. The fact that it's entered the top 10 should be very telling, and it's telling us it's worth our attention. We should definitely look at THETA moving forward. It's replaced Litecoin. It's replaced Chainlink. It's ahead of Chainlink. What the hell is going on, folks? This is not even anything yet, because we have THETA launching their mainnet in 94 days. On the 30th of June, they're supposed to launch their mainnet. Extremely bullish catalyst for THETA. So, yes, we have been exploding parabolically, but we still have very bullish catalysts ahead of us for THETA. So I don't think this is the end of the growth for THETA quite yet. Now, with that being said, I'm noticing a lot of... Well, I'm not THETA is in a very precarious place right now. I'll put it that way, because we've been exploding parabolically. And whenever I see this, I get very concerned, because I see this price structure manifest all the time, where we explode parabolically, we break below a few key support levels, and then we enter an extended consolidation period. So something like that might be possible if we start to break below a few key areas that I'll now describe. So, folks, we're in this wedge. We're breaking out bullishly, which is good to see, but we're right up against this critical resistance of $13 to $13.20. I want to see THETA get above $13, but really $13.20 in this spike in volume here, and hold above that, because if it does that, then I think we can see bullish continuation. Until then, this could be very precarious, and we can continue to find rejection off $13. The key support levels to look out for, I believe, are about $12 to $11.60. There's lots of volume in those regions, as well as a very price reactive zone based off these wicks here. As well, we have the 236 Fibonacci retracement from the macro bottom to the macro top is right below us here at $11.45, so that's bound to act as support. So we have a bunch of clusters of support as well. This spike in volume here at $11.28, $11.30, also a little bit of a price reactive zone. We see we're getting candle bodies and wicks reacting off it. So we have different clusters of support below us. So if we continue to find rejection, it's not the complete end of the world, but the more support levels we fall below, the more likely it is that we could continue to see bullish, bearish continuation. So if we start to break down below these key clusters of support here, I mean, folks, if we break down from 1130, I think 1130 is like the last stand, we could see a move down all the way down to 920, even further into the $8 range. So, I mean, we could see potentially, 17, 20 plus percent correction if we start to break down below these key areas. Now, I actually already recorded a video on THETA, but I want to re-record it because I forgot to mention one of the most key support levels for THETA, and the key level that you need to look out for. And if THETA fell back down to this level, this is where I would 100% be buying more THETA, because THETA is a large player in the space, and I think it's going to continue to do very well over the long term. Folks, the 200 EMA on the 4-hour, I looked through different time frames, I looked through different EMAs, and I tried to find what EMA was the most price reactive, what was the bedrock of support, and it was the 200 EMA on the 4-hour. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times when THETA corrected, it found support, it stopped correcting on the 200 EMA on the 4-hour. Look at this, 6 times, folks. We tested this as support, and we held it as support. So this is bound to probably be a relevant support level moving forward. The 200 EMA on the 4-hour is currently just below $8. At the time of recording, it's about $7.80 roughly then. Whenever it happens that you're looking at THETA or if we're ever near the 200 EMA on the 4-hour, I think it's definitely a buy in my opinion. If we start to break below these clusters of support, I think retesting this region is perhaps warranted. And again, if we start to break below these key areas, perhaps an extended correction phase is warranted. But when I say extended correction phase, that could be just a couple days, a couple weeks. I'm still extremely long-term bullish on this thing. I do not think this is the top. So let's just briefly talk about what I see happening over the long term, because we could delve into our indicators, but ultimately, like, it's just gonna tell us we're overextended. Like, let's look at the daily. Yeah, we're overextended. Shit's bearish. We're overbought. Think higher highs, higher lows. Yeah, okay. So, well, I mean, maybe that's worth mentioning. Okay, so looking at the daily here, we are quite overextended. We're seeing a lot of weakness on the daily. I think that actually is worth mentioning here. So our histogram's taken down. Weighted MACD bearish crossover. Weighted MACD acts as leading indicator on the regular MACD. Regular RSI overbought, making lower highs and lower lows. We're seeing a lot of bearishness, folks. A lot of weakness. 6 hours, some strength starting to build up. Histogram starting to tick up. In going to the lower hourlies, we're seeing a little bit more strength, but I think this is just telling us that we're range bound between 13 to 1320 resistance and kind of $12 to 1160 support. So we're just range bound within this range here, and whatever way we break out of this range, we're looking to trend in that direction for quite some time. So bullish breakout, all-time highs, I think, and bearish breakdown, I think minimum 920. If we can get just a 920, I would consider that a blessing. I think probably it's just a matter of time before we retest that 200 EMA if we break down from this cluster of support here. So something else that we can take a look at to try to understand what Theta is doing is the Theta Bitcoin pairing. Folks, always look at the pairings with Bitcoin, because you can find hidden support and resistance and hidden bullish and bearish divergence. So we're in this descending triangle, we're in this wedge. Whatever we break out is likely to have an effect on the US dollar value of Theta. So follow this thing, knowing when it breaks out. You're probably going to know what's going to happen with Theta as well. We're above this key support. I'm not going to count all those decimals, folks. We're above the key support level of 2.2. You figure it out, okay? If we start to break below that, then breaking below some of these support levels, or at the very least retesting them, becomes far more likely. So follow the Bitcoin Theta pairing, or the Theta Bitcoin pairing. Understand, these levels here, and that 200 EMA on the 4-hour is the key support level to look out for. As well, folks, Bitcoin leads the market. If it decides to tank into nothingness, that's going to affect Theta. If it decides to just skyrocket and go to the moon tomorrow in a second, that's definitely going to affect Theta and the Bitcoin pairing. So the reason why it's always important to understand Bitcoin is because, yes, it leads the market. Yes, it has the most value in within it, but it's also about the pairings, folks. Okay, if Bitcoin skyrockets or dumps, that's going to affect the pairings, and the pairings affect the US dollar value of whatever you're looking at. So always important to follow Bitcoin, always important to follow the pairings. So that's what's going on with Theta. Folks, do me a favor. If you want more content like this, breakouts, price targets, support and resistance, that kind of thing, like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell notification. Now, as well, if you like what we do and you want to support us, join our VIP Discord. Link for that down in the description. You do so, you join our VIP Discord through joining our Patreon. What do you get if you join our Patreon? Well, you'll support us. I appreciate the hell out of you. Appreciate the hell out of anyone who supports us in whatever way they do. But you'll get access to low cap gems, interesting setups, and extremely helpful resources that we're looking at before anyone else does. So consider all those things. Follow our Twitter, link for that down in the description. We're always posting helpful news articles, that kind of thing. So, folks, that's it for me. I've rambled long enough. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take care.